Tonight on The Roast, organised criminals use social media to target the police, and Queensland legalises segways in public spaces. But first, the federal government has responded to geo-blocking, that system preventing Australians from paying less or even accessing overseas online content from places like Netflix or Amazon. And in this case, the government said, not only is it okay with us using lawful means to get around the blocks, it actually advocates it. And that's because in legal terms, other countries use geo-blocking to Australians right in the making us pay 42% more on average for Adobe software such as Photoshop. They just love to us. And that is offensive. I mean, it's almost as offensive as calling it the World Wide Web and then blocking certain countries on that world. Because it's not as though these products are physically shipped anymore either. They're downloaded, meaning it should cost the same amount no matter where you are. And it's not like people are smuggling the entire Adobe Creative Suite into the country via other means. So the government is on board with us levelling the playing field, even if the legality of circumventing geo-blocking is a grey area. And that is problematic because it's really hard to police the grey when the law deals in black and white. To police the grey, well, you need a special kind of cop.
What do you see, Rookie?
I can see a kid sitting at his computer. Hey, looks like he's watching a TV show on a foreign website.
Calm it, Rook. I bet the government's told people they can use legal methods to get around geo-blocking.
But it might be breaking some companies' terms and conditions.
Well, that sounds kind of sort of illegal, Rook. The rat is in the trap. It's time to bring the cheese.
But I was just watching the new season of Arrested Development.
Listen, Rat, you should never have messed with the GALPD.
What?
The grey area of the law police department. And where did you get the Arrested Development?
I got it off Netflix, and I used a VPN, and I paid for it.
Boss, I've had an idea.
Sounds dangerous.
You know how the narcotics department target the big guys, like the cocaine manufacturers?
Sure do, Rook.
Well, why don't we do the same thing and go after the people who make guys like this act in a kind of, sort of illegal kind of way?
Oh, you're right. This mustachioed rat is just the tip of the iceberg. It's time to bring the cheese.
No, Rat!
Shut up, Rat!
For the last time, I work for Netflix. Why did you kidnap me from America?
Oh, you know what you did. The shows you made were too good. You made this rat go around your geo-blocks.
And then pay for the content.
This is ridiculous.
Well, you should have made Netflix legally available in our country. Rookie, you did good. One day, you'll be chief of the GALPD.
Thanks, detective. We did bring the cheese.
No. You brought the cheese.
Heroes, every one of them. Moving on though, an Australian Crime Commission report has outlined an alarming new trend in which organised crime figures are using social media to stalk and corrupt police. Something that has resulted in the bizarre trend of criminals wanting to be followed by cops, as well as the growing concern that there will be another series of underbelly. Now, the report from the ACC revealed that criminals use bodybuilding and kickboxing websites in particular to bond with law enforcement in seemingly innocent conversations. And I have to say, I also enjoy the artsy underworld blog concreteshoes.tumblr.com. If you get the shoes fresh, you can write your name in them. But of course, for those crims attempting to gain access to a cop's circle of friends, it has to be hard to take that initially fake friendship and then move it to the next level of entirely real criminal association. Luckily then, there's somewhere they can go to get some advice on how to do it.
So to recap, adding lol to the end of each sentence gives you what?
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability, that's very good. All right, now, the next part of this course is called Taking Your Relationship to the Next Level. Now, I understand, Tricky Nicky, gonna need a volunteer, mate. I understand you want to take your relationship to the next level. Come on here. All right, Tricky Nicky, tell me about yourself. What's going on in your mind?
Well, I've been talking to this police officer online for a couple of months now, and I feel like I've really got something special going with him. But I want to know, at what point do I stop joking around and going, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we trafficked liquid meth, lol, and started going, seriously, mate, I need you to traffic liquid meth.
Look, I think you need to be upfront.
Yeah.
I think you just need to ask him.
Just be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Failing that, you blackmail him, okay?
Well, I do have that picture of him smoking a joint. That'd probably get him fired.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to text him now.
Yeah, that's
mate,
good stuff.
I need you to traffic liquid meth internally.
Well, look, Tricky Nicky, good on you, mate. That's some really great progress. Round of applause there.
Yeah.
But of course, as any business knows, you can't just cater to the one demographic. You need to satisfy the entire market, including those people at risk of falling victim to the friendly criminals, the police.
Now, we all know that most criminals are larger-than-life characters who are good for a laugh and fun to be around, yeah? But some criminals mean to do you harm, yeah? Now, we've got a guy here who knows firsthand how it feels to be stung by a criminal. He's come all the way from the GALPD. He's feeling a little fragile. Let's give him a round of applause. Clark, up you come, mate.
Thank you. Thank you. I was in an online friendship with a man, a very special man, also I thought, named Tricky Nicky. It started out innocent enough. He reached out to me on a kickboxing forum online. He liked my opinions on appropriate strapping technique. I liked his I get a kick out of you meme. It was a Photoshop of Frank Sinatra with kickboxing gloves. But when he asked me the size of my anal cavity, that's when I started to get a little bit suspicious. It wasn't until he asked me if he could turn up to my house with rubber gloves and some lube that I realised he wasn't laughing out loud. He was serious. Now, I understand Tricky Nicky was just using me to smuggle drugs. I've actually prepared a poem about my feelings. Betrayed! Betrayed!
OK, yeah, let's just leave it there, mate. Now, if you could speak directly to Tricky Nicky, just like, what would you say to him?
I'd say, Tricky Nicky, you get yourself a new kickboxing partner. Yeah. And a new cavity.
Tricky Nicky should have treated Clark right. Finally tonight though, Queensland Transport Minister Scott Emerson has approved the public use of segways for both footpaths and bikeways, making it the first state in Australia to legalise looking like a slow-moving dick and balls. Now, segways were invented back in the year 2001, and it seemed fitting that the dawn of the new millennium would usher in a brave new world when at last mankind would no longer have to be jealous of the golf bag. Finally, we too could experience the luxury of moving around on a slight tilt. But as with every social revolution, there are naysayers, just like Professor Tony McMichael from the Australian National University, who says segways will impede the reining in of our national obesity problem. But I mean, you still have to stand up on them. It's almost a workout. And with Queenslanders being the first to allow their use on footpaths come this Thursday, well, it is true we might see the transformation of sexy meter maids from this into this. And then of course there's safety. Well, if you want to ride a Segway, you'll have to observe a 12 km/h speed limit and will be required to have a bell, lights and reflectors. All so that you can enjoy the wild, exhilarating experience of moving twice the average speed of walking. But some are questioning whether those measures are enough. One Department of Transport report from July last year, for example, concluded there was no compelling reason to change the law on Segways because doing so would place both Segway operators and other road users, for example pedestrians and cyclists, at risk. Well, for more on that, Nick Richardson joins us from Queensland Parliament. Oh, outside Parliament. Nick, there must be some surprise there at Minister Emerson's announcement.
They said it couldn't be done, Tom. They said Queensland's pathways could never be lined with segways.
Well, no authority said it shouldn't be done, or at least certainly not rushed through without proper safety checks and restrictions like Minister Emerson has.
Oh, Tom, you know as well as I do that for far too long, transport authorities have been restricting our personal transport freedoms. For years, they've made Queenslanders painstakingly put one foot in front of another when all along we could have just been going around like this on our ground-based jetpacks, on our standing electric wheelchairs,
Okay,
on
so
our sleeveless rickshaw.
Yep.
No, Tom, the actions of this government are heroic.
Actually, Nick, how is it that you already have a Segway? I thought Segways aren't legal on Queensland streets until Thursday.
But even Transport Minister Scott Emerson was riding a Segway back in April. I mean, it's sort of legal.
Oh, Nick, you should be careful. The grey area of the Law Police Department will be after you.
GALPD. You're under arrest.
What's nice one, Rook. Hey, you, what's your name, rat?
Nicky, first name Tricky.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
No.
Betrayed! Betrayed! I feel so betrayed!
Heroes, every one of them. Good night.
With them you played. You added me as a friend, but what you wanted was a mule. And now it's come to light, you've left me as the fool.
That was beautiful.